They were separated at birth but met each other 25 years later on Facebook. We meet the long-lost twin sisters, Samantha and Anais, in around half an hour.
But before all of that, yesterday, in a rare and emotional interview on The Today Show in America, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie opened up about how they coped with her brave decision to undergo both preventative breast and ovarian cancer surgery.
As Brad praised his wife's approach, Angelina also thanked her husband for the support he'd given her throughout her ordeal.
I think for as much as he speaks about my strength, I knew that he made it very, very clear to me that what he loved and what was a woman to him was somebody who was smart and capable and cared about her family, that it's not about your physical body. And so I knew through the surgeries that he was on my side and that this wasn't something where I was going to feel less of a woman because my husband wasn't going to let that happen.
Well, one couple who can completely understand Brad and Angelina's experience are Amanda and Jamie Stewart, who had to support each other through Amanda's double mastectomy in August this year.
Well, they join us now along with Denise Robertson, and welcome both of you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much indeed. So this double mastectomy in August drastically changed the percentage of your chances of getting breast cancer.
Yeah. Hugely. We were told because of the fact that we don't possess the BRCA1 or BRCA2, it's just a really high risk in our family. There's actually 8 cases of breast cancer being notified in the family.
So what percentage were you at?
97%.
And what did it take you down to?
5%.
Down to 5%.
I mean, when you look at those percentages, it's a no-brainer on paper, but the emotional toll that it took on you and the decision as a family to go through something like this is a completely different matter.
Definitely. About 6 weeks before the operation, I was having huge doubts, thinking I might never have this gene, I might never have to face this operation. But having seen my mum and my aunts, I knew that I had to do it. There was no other way. I couldn't put my kids through the same.
It had a psychological effect on you as well prior to the operation,
Yeah.
because you said that you were so concerned that no matter where you were watching telly, you were constantly checking yourself for lumps.
Constant. I was sitting every single night. The kids would go to bed, and I would assume the position on the couch, sitting watching TV, and just it was unconscious. I would do it, and they would say, "What are you doing? Can you feel something?" I said, "I don't know, I think maybe." And he said, "Look, you just have to do this."
And that's no way to live at all,
No,
is it?
it was mental torture.
And you also, not only worrying about your own health, but you also worried about how Jamie would feel throughout all of this, didn't you? What were your concerns there?
Well, we both have obviously seen the other effects of cancer. There's the survivors, but there's also the deaths in the family. And I've lost 2 aunts who are very close to me, and we've watched my mum go through it as well. And then Jamie's older brother passed away 3 years ago.
Right.
It was cancer with him as well, so we've kind of saw that side as well.
As a couple, what was the conversation when you decided that's what you were going to do?
The conversation was, I'm thinking about doing this, what's your thoughts? And he says, I'm behind you 100%, whatever you choose, that's the right decision.
Did you have any doubts?
No. When Amanda decided that that's what she wanted to do, any opinion that I had, peeled into insignificance, really. I just wanted to support her, make sure that she was healthy and was going to be reducing her chances of getting cancer down to 5%.
And you said your biggest fear, actually, was being helpless.
Yes.
And I think that a lot of people would recognise that feeling, that if you're anyone, whether it's cancer or any sort of other illness, or just watching a loved one going through something that's painful and difficult, that feeling of helplessness, of not knowing what to do.
It was the moment that, it was as the date got closer, I was thinking about the fact that I had no control over the destiny of the operation, and not having that control was very difficult for me to handle. I was essentially passing her over to somebody else, and I was relying on them getting her through it okay, and they did,
And it was okay.
Yeah, and
you said it was vital that you had his reassurance, because you'd lie in bed at night and you'd talk and you would say, are you going to feel the same way about me?
Again, it was like a kind of key point. It was about 6 weeks before the operation, and I started kind of grieving for losing the breasts, and it was like, I like how these feel, I like how they look, and I'd breastfed my 2 kids, so they had a purpose for me. So to lose that, it was bigger than I thought it was ever going to be. But as the date got closer, I just thought, I need to do my aunties proud, I need to do my mum proud and just get this done and then come out at the other side.
Well, you had a Facebook goodbye party for them, and then you afterwards. Very proud of your scars.
Yeah.
You want the fact that, and you're going through reconstruction now, but you want to be an inspiration to those women, a reassurance to those women who may be in the same position.
It was more
as
a
you.
reassurance for the women in particular, but for the families as well, to say, look, I'm still smiling after this, I'm still here, I'm still functioning, I'm still a mother, I'm still taking the wee man to the football, all that kind of stuff that normal people do, that's just... It's not provided by the healthcare.
And you're no longer living with that fear, that threat of a 97% chance of getting breast cancer. And as you said, you know how much that can affect a family.
You're quite interested in the reconstruction, aren't you?
Yeah, it's...
You don't know what you're going to get.
Oh, exactly.
Either of you.
But we're kind of partly there. We've got one side so far.
Yeah.
I actually lost one of the sides through infection, so at the moment it's reconstructed one
And
side.
I imagine because it's scarring, it's very different from going in and having normal breast surgery. So they have to expand the skin that's there because obviously it's much thinner and it's scar tissue. So it's a real process you have to go through.
It's a long process, and it can be kind of difficult because things can come up and your body could react a different way. So.
Denise, they are a great example of a couple going through something together, supporting one another.
It's a perfect example. Sadly, it is more common for me to get a letter from a husband who says, I love her more than ever. Why is she turning away from me all the time? I've had that letter more than 100 times. And it's sad. And reading between the lines, I think what happens is, I mean, Jamie talked of his almost terror at, was she going to be all right? And I think a woman comes home, she's had a major operation, a man loving her intensely, wants to handle her with kid gloves. She's wondering, does he still desire me? And because he's tiptoeing round her, she thinks he doesn't desire me anymore. And there you've got trouble. But when you listen to these two, you realise that in a good relationship, any kind of illness coming into your life enhances your feelings of love, the desire to preserve them and keep the relationship going.
Well, you're so brave for coming in. I mean, obviously having it done in the first place, but coming here and talking about it is a true inspiration. Will help so many people, both of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed for coming in today.
Well, this is the subject of our phone-in today. Is your loved one going through medical treatment and you don't know how to help and support them?
Or maybe you're the patient receiving the treatment or facing surgery and you're worried about how your partner is coping, or you want to say thank you to someone special who's been your rock, then you can give us a call, 08000 30 40 44. Calls are free from BT landlines. Calls from some mobiles and other networks might charge.
You can also email us at thismorning@itv.com. We need your emails by 11:15 today, and you must be 18 or over.
All right, still to come are meats like steak, sausages and bacon really as dangerous as asbestos and cigarettes. Dr. gives us the lowdown in just over 10 minutes.
And he's the talk show